And now the forest is starting to make a lot of sounds. I don't know what it is.
There's something in the distance, babe.
Ooh, I just got the goosebumps for some reason. Like, oh my lord, I don't know why.
Ben is known for investigating the unexplained. But in this video, his adventure took a strange turn. A local farmer had contacted him, asking if he'd camp overnight on his land after witnessing strange lights, noises, and even losing cattle. Ben agreed and set up near the edge of a large cornfield.
I've set myself up here on the edge of the farm. People have reported strange lights moving across these fields. Workers talk about hearing noises that they can't explain, and there are claims of cattle vanishing without a trace. I don't know what I'll find here tonight, but I'm here to try and capture whatever is behind this.
So, the farmer in our discussion has already mentioned seeing strange lights at night time hovering above the field. Now, I didn't ask in the conversation what crop was growing in that field, so this is the first time for me as well seeing this, but funnily enough, it's corn. And we all know that the links that UFOs have with corn fields and crop circles. Again, something that I'm going to note down, something that I'm going to be very aware of. It could be something, it could be nothing, but again, worth noting. Now, this is the first time for me seeing this cornfield up close and personal. The farmer has given me permission to go onto the field, but it's just going to be nice to get inside that field, even if it's only a few meters, to pick up any residual energy. A lot of the times when these craft or lights are seen above crop circles or above some kind of historical site, people the next day or a few weeks after even report feeling some kind of a residual energy, an energy left behind from whatever that was. So I just want to push in there, film that, get a feel for this place, and tonight even I'm going to come back and really go through that field and maybe just sit down, absorb, listen, and keep my eyes peeled for anything that maybe help me in this investigation.
As night fell, a storm rolled in, rain hammering his tent. When it finally passed, Ben ventured into the cornfield, and that's when things got weird.
Okay guys, so I've pushed quite a way into the cornfield at this point. You can see behind me the sky poking through those holes in the corn. It's almost nighttime. I've been sat down here for about 10-15 minutes. I can hear a train off in the distance. There's owls hooting off to my right. There's a real pungent smell of something at this point. Could be the crop. Although I'm smelling everything on the crop and it doesn't smell, like anything that I can distinguish. It's a very terrifying experience for anyone to be out here doing this kind of stuff. The aim is to keep looking up through the crop and see if any of those strange lights pass overhead.
Not long after entering, Ben noticed a strange smell, hard to describe, and faint movements among the stalks. Then came the sound of footsteps, light but distinct.
About 5 minutes into me being sitting here, I heard what sounded like an animal pushing its way through the crop as well, which was really terrifying because for a minute it sounded like it was coming in my direction. I could hear the trampling of something making its way through, something that sounded large. It wasn't a rat or some small rodent. This thing was actually moving crop out of the way, so I was thinking badger or fox, but it then stopped. So before I could give a positive idea on what that was, the noise and the movement through this corn was just non-existent, which was weird.
I've been sat here listening to something move back and forth. I've got Lily with me now. So if you can hear any dog breathing or anything like that, that's Lily.
something in the distance. 1 second. Lily, stay.
Moments later, a strange blue light appeared, flickering in the distance, glowing and fading, over and over. Even his dog, Lily, became tense, staring in the same direction.
There's a blue light. It's reflecting off the crop. It's difficult to gauge. What the hell? Lily, stay. What the hell is that? 1 second. I'm gonna turn my torch on. There's no noise. Just a blue light. What the hell is that? I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is something definitely moving through this crop in front of me, but it's difficult to gauge any kind of distance. This light is happening all around me. That's insane. I'm gonna keep recording for a little bit longer.
After some time, Ben eventually retreated to his camp and ended the night. But when he spoke to the farmer later, what he heard made his skin crawl.
Now what's interesting is during our recent conversation, one of the farm hands that work and live on the farm has been experiencing some night terrors. Night terrors that are based around extraterrestrial abduction scenarios. Dreams that he believes where he's being pulled out of bed and he's waking up on the floor in the dark with no idea physically how he got there, just this dream lingering still in his mind of these beings coming through the wall or the roof or the window, which is, you know, things that he's reported. What's really strange is that on one of these occasions when these night terrors first started is exactly the same date that I was in the cornfield sat there watching these blue lights, these crystallized blue specks, shards, whatever they was, off in the distance throughout the corn. The date that was happening, the day that I was sat there, is exactly the first night when this farm hand was experiencing night terrors. Is it linked? Is that a coincidence?
The farmer said that the same night Ben saw those lights, he'd woken from a nightmare, a dream about strange beams. And ever since then, the lights haven't stopped. Was this all just a coincidence, or was it linked to something darker? Sophie always pushes herself when it comes to the outdoors, exploring deep forests and challenging herself to camp alone. This time, her goal was to spend a night in a shelter deep in the woods.
Today my plan is to stay here in this wood shelter. We have quite a lot of these permanent wood shelters all around Denmark, and they have become very popular to camp in because you don't need to bring a tent, you just need to bring a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag, and then you have this lovely campsite where you can spend the night. Now I'm just gonna go out and look for some firewood.
She arrived, unpacked, gathered firewood, and built herself a small fire. As darkness set in, she sat back, made food, and enjoyed the calm until things started to feel off.
It's starting to get dark out here. The sun is gone over by the trees. It has been a beautiful evening, a beautiful day, but now I can feel that the temperature is dropping.
A strange light began flickering behind her, reflecting between the trees. It appeared more than once. Something was there. Sophie didn't realize it at the time, but when reviewing her footage later, she saw it clearly. Then she heard it. Noises. Voices echoing through the woods.
And now the forest is starting to make a lot of sounds. I don't know what it is. As soon as it gets dark, all sounds just becomes a little bit scary. I have no idea if you can hear this on the camera, but there are these big, like, branches snapping or breaking in that direction. And now there's an airplane, so you probably can't hear it. But I'm just, I get a tiny bit scared whenever I hear that sound. But it's probably just a deer or something. I actually did see a deer on my way here when I was biking. It was laying just besides the path, and I scared it biking, so it jumped off and ran. Now I can hear some people talking in that direction. But I mean, we are very close to the city, and a lot of people are using this forest area. And most people are nice, so I don't think there's anything to be worried about, even though my brain can run off. And now my flashlight is flickering as if the battery is low. So that's gonna be interesting.
Someone was out there. Was it the same person with the torch? Trying to shake the unease, she set up her bed inside the shelter, hanging small lights to make herself feel safe.
Now I am laying in my sleeping bag, and I decided to have my head towards the opening. I feel it's kind of nice to be able to look out. So now I just need to set my alarm, and then I can go to sleep. I hope that there won't be too many noises during the night. I will see you tomorrow.
Sophie managed to get some sleep and woke up early to pack up and head to work. Nothing else happened. But one thing was clear. Something or someone was watching her from the woods that night. Natalie had been filming her camping adventures for months, but during one trip, she had no idea she'd end up being threatened, and later, nearly swept away by the tide. She set out into the wilds of Northern Ireland, choosing a quiet spot near the coast. After setting up camp, the wind howled around her as she made food and a hot drink, ready to settle in. But soon, her peaceful night took a turn when darkness set in.
Hello.
So there was a group of 4 people coming towards the tent. I realised it was 4 teenage boys, and you could hear them whispering and getting on. I ended up poking my head out and saying hello, and they headed up the hill to the cliffs behind me. Now up that way it's access to a farm, so you can't, there's no public access up there, so I'm guessing they live there. But as they were walking up the hill, they all started shouting, "We're getting the police phoned, you're not allowed to camp there, we're ringing the police." So I could be in for an eventful night here. I don't know if the police will come down this far. I have to go right along the rocks and right down here. I don't know if a farmer from away up the cliff's going to come down, or they're going to come back, or what's going to happen. But yeah, came to the coast for a change of scenery, and the police might be coming to remove me.
Voices echoed through the darkness. People were nearby. Natalie called out to make her presence known, but instead of leaving, the group shouted back, threatening her, saying they'd called the police and that she wasn't allowed to camp there. Unsure what was going to happen next, Natalie stayed put, hoping it would pass.
That is me in the bed. I can't see anything coming of like what they were shouting. Couldn't see them going home and actually telling someone. I think it's just teens being teens. The ears open anyway, because if I hear a voice saying "excuse me," I'll shit myself. Sorry, I shouldn't say that actually, because in my previous video I said I was shitting myself and got told off because I was also casually enjoying my dinner, because you're not allowed to eat and be scared. You're not allowed to go camping and be scared either.
Hours later, she tried to sleep, but was soon woken by another sound. Waves. The sea was getting closer. With an hour still until high tide, the sound of the water grew louder and louder.
So the sea was sounding suspiciously close to the tent. I had to get up and look out. I did check the tide times before I came, but I don't know if it reaches here. I'm hoping not. There's another hour and a half till full high tide, and it's, I wouldn't say it's close, but it is close. It's not like about to touch my tent, but there's another hour or more of growing time definitely sounds like there's water right there. The water was down there and that way earlier, not up there. There was grass. I don't know.
When morning finally came, she was relieved to still be on dry land. Exhausted but grateful, she made herself a coffee as the first light crept in. Thankful she hadn't been washed away and that the police never showed up. In July 2018, Felix headed out on a camping trip, spending the night in a small hut deep in the mountains. But what he woke up to at 1:30 in the morning left him and his wife terrified.
Tekohan igaramusi. Mani ubenet teku. Oh, teko araganya. Kalle.
Kaya lang himanya ma.
Mungale. Kalle.
Suvi.
Siya. Uning aktorial kapillo.
They woke to the sound of something large moving outside their hut. When they looked through the window, they saw it. A massive polar bear wandering around, staring directly at them. Only a thin sheet of glass separated them from it. But this wasn't the end. When daylight came, the bear was still there, pacing around the hut, clearly aware of them inside. It lingered for what felt like hours. With no one around for miles and no way to call for help, they were trapped in fear. Just when they thought it had moved on, it circled back to the window. And then the footage cuts out, leaving us to wonder, what happened next? How long did it take until they were finally free? Andy and Sarah love truck camping, exploring new places, sleeping under the stars, and soaking in the peace of the outdoors. But on this trip, that peace didn't last long. They'd found a quiet spot surrounded by tall trees and spent the day relaxing. As the sun went down, they built a fire and made dinner. But later that night, strange noises echoed from the woods.
We're just going to lounge for a bit and we'll be making dinner here in a little bit. It'll be pretty simple, I think, but that's all right.
Yeah, but oh my goodness, is this weather amazing.
Long sleeve.
Yeah, see,
I haven't worn long sleeves since, I think, Vietnam. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah, that wasn't you.
No.
I've worn long sleeves because I'm usually cold, but for Andy to wear a long sleeve, yeah, this is...
Yeah, it's chilly.
Ooh. Yummy.
Just heard a little bit of ruckus in the shrubbery. Man, it is so different being out here. The desert you can see forever. Here, with the thick brush, it's just a whole nother world. Ooh, it's lightning out too. Ooh, I just got the goosebumps for some reason. Like, oh my lord, I don't know why. I just got the goosebumps. Something hardcore. I don't know. Maybe that is a sign to just go back to the camper. I usually have pretty good intuition. Alright, I'm heading back to the camper. Alright, we're back. We're back, we're safe. Sarah's doing the dishes. I don't know. That was interesting. I love the spotlight.
Andy grabbed his torch and shined it into the trees, but the darkness seemed endless. The feeling was off, like they were being watched. He returned to the truck, uneasy, and soon more sounds followed. Branches snapping, footsteps crunching.
All right, guys, we are back in. It was getting a little creepy out there. Heard some twigs snapping pretty close to us.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're
Made
just
me jump.
yeah, she actually jumped. We're not used to being so like surrounded by trees and stuff. You know, the desert you can see for so far. So yeah.
And just hearing those weird noises and stuff. And then just the other night we watched the movie The Grey with wolves and Liam Neeson.
And good movie. But yeah, you just get a little creeped out. So
yeah,
they decided to call it a night and stay inside the truck. Even though they never saw what was out there, one thing's for sure. When you're surrounded by dark forest, you never really know what's lurking beyond the light. Gaz and his loyal dog, Fendi, love the outdoors, camping, hiking, exploring. But this trip wasn't like the others. He found a spot he'd camped at before, but this time there was a new landowner, and technically, he no longer had permission to be there. Still, he decided to stay for the night.
Apparently there's a new landowner, and I've been told that he's a bit of a dick, but we'll have to find out, won't we? That's if he comes down. I did have permission before to camp and stuff here, but apparently they've sold up shop, so we'll see if he comes down later. I've forgotten how to do it. Forgotten how to do all this YouTube shizzle. Anyway, let's get Amex set up. Get them going. And then we'll get some bigger stuff on once that's going. Whew. Smoky Joe's.
As the sun went down, he built a fire, but soon began hearing strange noises. Rocks being thrown, movement in the trees. The forest was alive, something was out there.
Just heard a rock again in that stream. Do you reckon it's them American crayfish doing some star jumps or something, and squats? It's full of them in here. Signal crayfish.
Later that night, Gaz spotted something. A large figure standing in the dark. As he shined his torch, his heart raced. But then he realized it was a cow.
What's that there? Fucking cows, look. Motherfucker. Oh, they've got horns. Can you see them? For fuck's sake. Stay there, Fendi. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I didn't even hear him. Didn't even hear him come down. I just smelled cow shit. Oh, there's more.
Relieved, but still tense, he noticed more shapes behind it. He was surrounded. In the pitch-black woods, with only his dog by his side, being that close to several cows was no small thing. One wrong move, and they could charge. He quickly packed up and moved deeper into the forest to finish the night elsewhere.
That's it, I'm doing one. Can't be arsed with these cows, I need to get away from them. They're going to be here all night because grass is just well long. We've got a buffet down here and they're just going to be bothering me all night. But if you like the idea of horror movies and like the video, and if you like the video... Oh, there's more here. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fendi, come here. Let me put her at lead. And if you like the idea of me maybe just doing some night investigations rather than camping, because I never seem to get to camp anyway, do I? We'll just go out in van somewhere and do some night investigations. Whew, right, I'm gonna have to play Squid Games now with these cows. Is that your mum over there? Oh, there's some more down there. Right, come on Fendi, let's get out of here. No, you don't need to play with me dog. Come on Fendi. It's alright. Chill, Winston.
A harmless encounter. But when you're alone in the dark woods, even a herd of cows can feel like something much worse. Camping is meant to be peaceful, a time to reconnect with nature. But as we've just seen, sometimes the wilderness has other plans. Would you pack up and leave at the first sign of something strange? Or stay and face the unknown? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more creepy encounters.